Intelligent management's a new way of running businesses. So 25 years ago, when I started my career, businesses were run really on a monthly basis. And on day 6 of the next month, the finance business partner would sit down with the head of that division or that business unit and say, this is how last month was, what are we going to do differently next month? So that was infrequent, and it was relatively few people running the business. We described that as financial management. Then much of my career has been spent with things like dashboards and pushing information down to kind of middle levels of management. And that's great, if you don't push it too far. And you could describe that as operational management. Where we are now is that businesses have so much data, and they want to push pretty much all of that down in real time to most people working in the business. Certainly to first-line managers, and sometimes actually to kind of first-level employees, to frontline employees. So that kind of real-time, everyone working to improve the business is just a different way of running the business, and that's what we describe as intelligent management. So I think now is the time for intelligent management because businesses are already pushing way too much data down into the organization, down to the front line to run it any other way. We have to move here. So to give you an example, in retail, the average retailer is pushing about 50 times as much data down to store leaders and about 15 times as many applications as it did 10 years ago. So these people are completely overwhelmed, and we need to find a better way of running it. Sending them 100 dashboards doesn't work. What we need is a new type of way of managing businesses, and we need a new type of technology, a new type of platform to enable that. I think Quorso is uniquely well placed to deliver intelligent management because we've actually been working on this problem already for nearly 10 years. We've built a huge amount of product. We've worked with some of the world's smartest organizations here. And candidly, we have a significant head start. We've made lots of mistakes and learned a lot on the journey. And anyone starting now has a lot to catch up on. So the promise of intelligent management is that you have pretty much your whole organization working in near real time to try and drive the performance of the business. And what we can see from our experience working with large retailers is that when you get that right, each manager running each part of a business unit can improve profitability by about 20%. So it's worth a lot of money. It's worth trillions of dollars to the global economy. Where do those benefits come from? They really come from 3 areas. The first one is improving your core KPIs, improving sales, reducing waste, etc. The second one is making managers more productive. So the average manager or average worker today probably spends 10 to 15% of their time just looking at data, looking at reports, etc. If we can take away that time, you get a lot of time back. And then the third area where you can drive improvement is what's happened over the last 10 years is there's been a kind of proliferation of point solutions. Lots and lots of different tools solving narrow problems. Intelligent management unifies all those and solves many of them in a single tool. And that means you can actually simplify your system footprint and reduce your cost of ownership. I think we're just at the start of the intelligent management journey. I mean, clearly what's going to happen over the next decade is more and more colleagues, more and more sectors are going to be managing themselves in closer to real time. We're really just in the early days of that, and I think it's very exciting to see where that can take us. I think the other thing that's very exciting is splitting out what we as humans are uniquely good at doing and from the stuff that actually no one really enjoys that we should automate. And so I think this is also going to bifurcate between making humans better at their jobs and automation of areas that we don't like so much.